Well, hello everyone. Welcome to my deck. This video is inspired by Lisa Papez and April from Tarot and Witchery. I am super stoked to do my year ahead spread. I've got a whole bunch of supplies here. I've got some decks here, and I'm excited to do something new this year instead of just my year spread. Now I admittedly did log in online and do the ritual planner spread. When I heard kind of the spin-off of the ideas, kind of the doing the pulling of one card for Omen days, or I'm sorry, for Yule, which kind of was like an Omen day ritual, and then Lisa Papez making a very ritualized process, I was just like, oh, I have to do that. And what I had decided to do is I would do the 13 new moons in 2024. Now, admittedly, I am super late. I'm doing this closer to the first new moon in January, which is on January 11th. That's the first moon in Capricorn season. Yes, it's Capricorn season. So I've got my Astro moon diary. This is my first year getting one, and of course mine is Eastern Standard Time. This is my first year getting one of these, and I'm super stoked because I love the calendar in the front, and then I'm going to be using this as part of that ritual here. I'm going to be using these prompts. I'm going to use these affirmations as part of what I should be embracing in that moon, and then I will be pulling the card. I've got an affirmation deck, I have an oracle deck, and I have the Nameless One tarot deck, which I will be taking the oracle cards out of. I just think that's just so I have a tarot card, and then I'm using, actually I'm using the Weaver's Oracle, which I don't know if I'd really call it an oracle as much. Well, we'll see. We'll see. These are two decks that I put a lot of investment in. Again, I'm going to say Lisa made me do it. I don't remember where I first saw the Weaver's Oracle, but I do believe I saw it on one of her Purgatory videos, and I was like, I gotta have that. And then I went and watched a few other YouTube videos and was like, oh yeah, gotta have that. And then the Nameless One I had actually seen on... Let me think whose channel I saw that one on. So the first time I saw the Nameless One was on Moon 513. And I should remember that because I used to, when I was a kid, come from the area code 513. Anyway, I saw that she purchased this deck and was so intrigued by the symbolism, and she was saying how much time she needed to spend with the deck. I do have the deck and this hunker of a book. It is a huge, heavy book. Both of these decks I bought secondhand. So both the Nameless One, I think who I purchased it from had all the little goodies. I don't know if this was like a Kickstarter. Actually, it's really funny because I put this on my wish list, if you will. I don't know if I have a list, but it doesn't seem to stay up to date. When I saw this, I was like, I need to have it. So I went and I looked up the retail price, and then to get it shipped to the United States was just going to be a little crazy. So I was like, okay, I'll save my money for it. I'm sure I'll find one secondhand one day, which is where I get most of my decks. And my astrology teacher actually just pointed out, I have Neptune and the moon both in my second house. And she's like, you must, have an intuition for things. So I held off on purchasing it. And within like a month, one came out for sale. Purchased it, yes, because they canceled the order. It wasn't like a bid or anything. I purchased it for $96 delivered. That's US. And it didn't come. She canceled it. So then within another month, I purchased this deck for $60 plus shipping. Now, the only thing is the person who bought it put it in a bubble wrap mailer, and it's just got a couple dents and scratches. When I buy decks secondhand, I always cleanse them, put them back in order. I always count the cards before I rate the seller. That way they can get their funds. But I was quite pleased with it. I mean, the cards are all here. The journal is in here. There's a bag for it, and of course, a little card that came inside of it. So super happy that I was able to buy it. And I got this in February of 2023 and have yet to work with it. Let's talk about the Nameless One. Let's go back to the Nameless One. So same thing with this. I purchased it in April of last year and had every intention of taking a card, pretty much at least one card a week, and going through the deck and learning the symbols and reading the book, because I mean, it is a very in-depth book. I will show you here really quickly. And again, it is a super heavy book, super heavy. Which side is up? Okay, yeah, and you got to figure out which side is up. But this is just the full. Is this the full? Where's the full start? Nope. Let's go back. Magick. Yep, you can see the symbol. You can see the background image. And then it gives you alternative titles, affirmations, number, element, astrology, symbol, animals, plants, crystals, color, candle, another little affirmation, and then you can see it goes in depth. I mean, it's 4 pages per card. Yeah, 3 to 4 pages per card, and it just goes on and on and on. And I think this deck, you know, it just doesn't tell you what card it is, that this is the Ace of Coins. The sigils for each one. Again, and then there might even be some more story behind each one. Super in-depth deck that if you want to work with, you really need to take the time to study. That's why I think taking this deck out of commission, which really wasn't even in commission the last year, taking this deck out of commission and then just choosing one card per new moon, I think is the way to go. I think that's a perfect way to start with this deck, to get familiar with the deck, and again, find out how much I really love this deck and how much more I want to work with it in 2025. So just taking this year to pull 13 cards and go from there. All right, so for the last deck that I'm using this year in my new moon year ahead spread is Moon Magick. And this is just a Stacey Demarco deck. It's one of those cute little rock pool affirmation decks. I love these. In fact, this year I've made it a point. I have so many of these because sometimes I pick them up for like, I don't know, $5 a piece. I'm going to take and use one of these cute little affirmation decks each week in my ritual planner, because you know, each week you have an affirmation to start out with. I'm going to go ahead and start using these little mini decks to do that, and I just thought the Moon Magick deck is a perfect deck to be adding into my envelopes. So the Nameless One, the Weaver's Oracle, and Moon Magick. Now for my supplies. I went to Amazon and I looked for I put like notes from, I forget what I searched on, but I found this cute little stationery with these looks like old-fashioned letters, and I thought this would be perfect so I can write myself a little note. Maybe I'll write, actually my plan is to take this and use it with my Astro. I think I'm going to take this and write it inside my letter and then kind of just do a little journaling on that, and that way when I open the letter for that new moon, I will have that information and I'll have the cards to work with. Now, I love Lisa Papez's idea of making it a ritual. Like, I even went and found one of my special pens. I was going to say I really don't have a special pen, but then I thought about it. I do have a special pen. This is my Swarovski crystal pen, and it has my name on it. And my almost son-in-law engraved this for me, but this was a gift for outstanding sales. I used to be a Swarovski retailer, and our store did quite a volume. The only problem is when I went to use it, the ink has dried up. So I had to order a new ink cartridge, and I'm just not going to wait. I'm just going to choose another pen out of my collection, but I thought that was a really cool idea, Lisa. Shout out to you. I also didn't notice I dented my pen. So at least I still have it, and I know where it is, and I will use it in the future. But I like the idea of having a special pen to write with. I pulled some washi tape out of my collection. I had this. I think this is just a plain old Recollections roll. We'll see if I use it. We'll see. But I loved the idea of using wax seals. And again, you know, the whole process. I did purchase myself some new, these are the ones with the wicks on the end. So I'll just be lighting them and then using the wax seal. I did buy myself a bee wax seal. This is new for me. But I actually do have a collection of zodiac symbols. That's the astrologer in me. So I may use some of these. I may use the bee. I haven't really decided. But I definitely have some new wax candles to use. And right here on the side, I have my beeswax candles. I like these little tea lights. I usually make candles. St. Bridget's Day is going to come up, and I usually make some with my grandson. But we used or gave away all the ones we made over the holiday. So for Christmas and Yule, they're all gone. The last thing I pulled to put in my box was a box to put my letters in. So for each new moon, and I will probably be putting this on my altar. For a long time, this was on my altar. You can see it's sun faded. This box came from, it was a gift. I used to sell Catholic goods, and this was one of my gifts when I came for my, we would go to St. Meinrad, Indiana, and that is where Abbey Press is. And Abbey Press has been in the business, I don't know, like 100 years. Anywho, my employees and I would once a year go for the buying trip, and we would do all the buying for the year. We would get to see all the new releases. Spend the night. They have a beautiful facility, beautiful grounds. But our welcome gift we found on our bed were these boxes with some items in it. Now you can see I've obviously used it because it's got some staining in there. I used to use it for crystals. I'm going to use it for my letters. I might even put a couple crystals in here, but I'm going to put my letters in there for each new moon, and then I'm going to put this on my altar, or at least one of my altars. I have several throughout my house, and that's where my letters will be located and ready for me to use during the new moon. All right, so I think that's it on my supplies. I will link everything that I purchased below, because some of these things I had purchased, like my Zodiac symbol set, I purchased like a year ago, but I'll go ahead and link them. So again, the Zodiac symbol will probably correlate with the new moon. I don't know if I'm going to use the bee one, but he was really cute. And I have bees, so I just thought it was appropriate. My window is at ground level right in front of us, and I have some bird feeders out there, and I have Kuan Yin out in front of me, and it's a beautiful winter day. Little snow on the ground. Had a couple little birds already visit me, so I think it's just a beautiful day to put this little project together, put it to rest until the next new moon, which is on, again, I'm going to go ahead and skip January 11th. The next new moon is on February 9th. Well, in case you didn't see, the card ended up being longer than the envelope. So I had to cut the whole thing short so that I could make a little adjustment. So basically I just put another piece of paper in there, and then I did a little, I made use of my washi tape, and I think it's kind of cool because it actually looks like, yeah, something that, you know, the post office might do. So I'm going to get to pulling my cards. So I had to stop and get myself in a better space and just start again. And this time I will just pull all the cards, put them in the envelopes because I'm slicing them up the side. I'm slipping in a piece of paper there so that I can put a some washi there and it won't stick to the card. But yeah, I'm going to get myself in a better space. Go ahead and slit all these, get them ready to go, and light my candles again and start to tell y'all, shit happens. So don't fret it. It's going to be okay. You know, it's going to be okay. So like I said, now that I've got everything prepared, I'm going to sit down, reshuffle, and pull my cards. Alrighty, so I have got them all ready. Now I've done 12 different envelopes. I was very careful that as I was slipping them in to their envelopes, because again I had to kind of get creative here on the sides. I did some different sides. So the cards are in there. Now they're going to be super safe inside my little box here. So this is my little treasure box that I'm going to put them in. I'll probably put some crystals in there for the new moon. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments of what else I should put in the treasure box for new moon ritual time. Now I have 12 envelopes ready. And again, I was super careful not to look at the cards as I was going through. This stationery kit came with these cute little seals. So I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick some of these seals and just seal up the back. And again, I can't see anything even when I open the envelope. I just have the new moon date, and then I have the affirmation, and then on the inside a little note to myself about that moon, about that affirmation, a little journaling prompt. Usually when I do a new moon ritual, I bring out 5 or 6 crystals that I feel go with the new moon. Of course, I might just take my Nameless One card and look up the crystals that are in that guidebook. I might just do that, pull those crystals if I have them. I won't have one of those, so maybe it'll be a little treat for myself to go to my local metaphysical store. But let's just see. We'll just see how it goes. So yeah, I'll get these sealed up and in my treasure chest. I want to thank you so much. If you watch my video from beginning to end, thank you so much for stopping by my desk.